Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And it reminds me of Richard Rudd writing in the Gene Keys. He spoke about, he said, if you find yourself sort of being a non-duality teacher or whatever, and that's something that I've been described as I lead gatherings, and then essentially you're selling death. And so don't expect to be too popular. A lot of my spiritual teacher friends, they seem to be teaching how to have better sex or how to get more money. Half of them have become cryptocurrency consultants, and that's cool. Like I fair play to them, and I can see how that would be easier to market. There's a well-known spiritual teacher who he was a young Dutch, probably gives it away, non-duality teacher, and then my understanding is someone advised him that there's not a lot of money in non-duality. Law of attraction, on the other hand. So he then sort of evolved his teaching to be this sort of non-dual law of attraction, and since then has done very well financially, is my understanding. So yeah, good on him. But there's a persistent popularity with this inexplicable, undesirable. And what comes to me actually as an answer, like why, is that our spirit, what we are, wants to know itself. Truth wants to know itself. And there's another response which came up from my experience. I attended, I think it was at the time, the world's first Vipassana, non-dual inquiry, yoga, qigong, ayahuasca, and 5-MeO DMT retreat at a private house in Mexico, where on the bay, UFO sightings are predictable and regular and very intriguing. And I found myself going on this retreat with no reason to go on this retreat. Like I really felt that I've sort of done, I felt like I'd done my healing work with all the medicines that were involved. And I didn't have any curiosity about, I knew what 5-MeO DMT involved, and therefore I didn't want to be involved in that. I couldn't find an answer to that question. Why would we do this? And so the ceremony happened, and I was just sitting there, listening to music, loving things, loving life, feeling great. And then suddenly this answer came into my experience. Like, why would I do this? And it's like for the joy of it. So it was like yes, there's no great healing need in this instance. It's not. There's no problems. There's nothing needs fixing. But there is one possible reason, and that's to have a new experience of joy. So I went to the facilitator and said, "Is it still possible?" And it was. And I remember he put the pipe to my mouth. It was visibly, sort of, wow, that's big. It's a lot bigger. It turns out it was the biggest that anyone on the retreat was served. So it goes to show, if you really want to set yourself up, stand out as unusual in some way, and the facilitator thinks, this guy needs a large dose. and the experience that unfolded, though predominantly ineffable and inherently translingual, and I wasn't there for the vast majority of the experience to be recounting anything. What also happened was a bodygasm. So this body having an energetic orgasm. And this is a body that's had seizures, that's had grand mal seizures. So usually unconscious movement of energy through this body is not a desirable, pleasant thing. And yet here I am in this ongoing state of bliss. And then this chanting happens coming out of my mouth. I'm hearing it much as others are hearing it, like, wow, that's pretty rad. That sounds pretty amazing. So truth could be a reason. We may have the embodied neurochemical, biochemical experience of truth, of bliss, of joy, of our own divinity, and our own non-physical nature. Somehow this physical body was being used by something, someone, to make noises that it was clear had a function and a purpose to bring this body-mind back into some state of familiarity, relocating itself in time and space. Yeah, I mean, of course, I could not know that I would have those experiences, but that would be my answer now, is why we might work with such medicines. Is they give us the direct experience of truth. And that's a priceless thing to experience in a human body.